Was 10 seconds right for this one? We've never. I mean, obviously, George Russell was investigated for Canada. What happened at the end of there? Nothing came of it, of course. But I can't recall there being a penalty for this for a safety car restart. We normally get one where, there's some kind of, 10 over 10 car lengths or, someone breaking the delta time under safety car. Those are quite common ones. But I can't recall anybody getting a penalty like this before for going too slowly and slowing down too much at the restart.
Yeah, I mean, I can't either. I think it comes down maybe to the fact that, this is sort of, it was seen as particularly egregious. I mean, I think 60G is or six, sorry, 60 PSI, sorry, is was the number quoted, which is a fair amount of force. Obviously, it's not the full amount of force that you'd use to slow down an F1 car going into a big braking zone, but it's still pretty hefty and, decelerating 100 miles an hour, very, very quickly. I do feel for Oscar Piastri on that one, but I do think that we're sort of in an era where the stewards have sort of stepped up the penalties themselves. So I think that 10 seconds is becoming the new norm. I think it, as much as it seems harsh, yes, it seems harsh here, but that's because we've not necessarily seen it before, and it's always going to feel harsh when it seems to be a bit of a step change in the severity of the penalty that is being applied. On the other side of that, I think that, this is a harsh enough penalty, sorry, that it does act as a big deterrent, because as the leading car in a safety car train, and, admittedly, it did come very late, and I think McLaren is still appealing or going through the motions and seeing what they can do to overturn this penalty. Obviously, Norris won't be happy about that, but Oscar's side of the garage have to do what they have to do. And from that perspective, I think yeah, like I say, it's a bit hard. It's a bit hard done by because it's it's in a difficult position. You could say that yeah, it was Paul. The safety car lights did come out a bit late, but if we're just going by the penalty itself, assuming it isn't late, I think that yeah, like we say, it was quite a severe deceleration, and because of that, we're seeing quite severe penalties, and they are surely going to deter people from doing this similarly. That said, there is also the side of it where I think drivers are also going to potentially, if you're Piastri doing that again and a similar situation happens, you'll be like, okay, right, well, I'm just going to keep going at the same speed I'm going to go and really close up to that safety car. And if you're a vindictive person, maybe they'll sort of take that as well. You've made your bed on this one, but I think it is sort of just a case that 10 seconds is the new normal, and that is serving as a much bigger deterrent, even if it feels harsh at the time. I think that should raise the standard of racing higher.
Yeah, it seems harsh, but we don't really have a kind of test case to kind of compare it to, really. So, yeah, he'll be fuming at that because if it was a 5 second penalty, it would have been neck and neck with Lando Norris in the closing stages. I mean, he served a 10 second penalty, but he was only 5 seconds or so behind after Lando Norris did his stop. So it would have been a thrilling last few laps if that actually happened.